Hello my friends, welcome home to my channel. My name is Kel and I'm a graphic designer, and today I'm going to be showing you my favorite merchandise items that I have designed this year. I mostly design merchandise, so I do stuff that is on tour with artists, I do stuff that's on their e-commerce store, I do stuff that's in pop-ups, stuff that's in retail. My stuff's kind of everywhere, and I really love what I do, and so I wanted to show you guys my favorite pieces that have come out this year. And a lot of my work that I do is under NDA, so I can't show you any of my NDA work, sadly, because that is the majority of the work that I do. All of that aside, I am going to show you, I thought I was gonna narrow this down to just 10 items, but unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have more than that because I have a lot of really cool work that came out this year. And I'm gonna be showing you t-shirts, sweatshirts, general garments like that, and I also have 2 posters that I want to showcase. And I think I also have a tote bag. I can't remember if I put it in my pile or not. But alas, if you're new here, my name is Kel, you already know that. If you're new here, we talk about all sorts of graphic design stuff and sometimes other things, but I am here to share the wonderful world of graphic design with you. And part of that is showcasing some of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, how I got to where I am, how I make stuff, all that jazz. So without further ado, let's try to get into this video. Now, my apartment complex has some leaf blower landscaping people coming by, and they come by once a week, and they always come by when I'm in the middle of doing something where I'm recording audio or I am on a call with a client, and today is that day that they are here. So I am hoping I can make it through this video without them coming right in front of my house, but I know they will be, so we'll see. How do I want to start this? I'm gonna try to clip. I really hate doing this with microphones, man. There's gotta be a better way. That looks so stupid. How's that? Let's do that. Cool. This is a shirt that I made. It says, "It's hell on earth to be heavenly." This is a Taylor Swift lyric. I made it with just some little velvet flocking iron-on letters with just a shirt I got from Target. So anyway, okay, let's get started. Oh my God, the leaf blowers, I hear them. I hate leaf blowers so much. They are so dumb. They're bad for the environment, especially during fall. This is driving me crazy, but whatever, we'll move on. Okay. This is not normally where I keep this clothing rack. This clothing rack is normally where I keep where my camera is right now. That's where my clothing rack is, but I moved it because I wanted to have a set. So I guess they're coming closer. They're coming closer. We might have to pause. All right, we're rocking again. The leaf blowers have moved on to another area for now. This isn't all the work that has come out this year, but it is stuff that I have my hands on, and I have so much work that I don't ever get to see in person, and it makes me sad. But every once in a while, my clients will send me my work, and that slays, okay? So I think the first one that I want to start with, excuse me, George, can you get off? Thanks. One of my favorite merch items that came out this year is a hoodie I did for All Things Go festival in New York City and in DC. This was a festival that I had the honor and privilege of going to, and it went pretty well. It went pretty well. There were some things that happened this year, but it's fine. I'm definitely not mad about someone dropping out, but it's fine. I really like the back of this design. When I was working on this, I made like a little, I don't know, a little sample of a design, and I screenshotted it, and then I tweeted it. Screenshot it, and then I tweeted it, and then now I see it on Pinterest all the time, so that's kind of hilarious. This is Miss Adobe Caslon Pro Italic. It is one of my all-time favorite typefaces. It is just so gorgina, and it looks just so elegant, so classy. I love how versatile it is, and that's what I used for the entirety of this design. And I think that typeface also looks particularly beautiful with a really bright, vibrant, like cobalt blue. So yeah, I really like how this one came out. It has this really cool print here on the sleeve that says Merriweather Post Pavilion, and it says All Things Go on the front. This was available at the DC and New York City location, except the New York City one did say Forest Hill Stadium, and then it had the slightly different lineup on that. But overall, I really like this design. I think it was also on a shirt and on a tote bag. And when I was there, it was really cool to see just like how many people were wearing this exact design. So I really love this one. I'm super happy that they approved this. Okay, this next design technically came out last year, but I got it this year. And so I'm counting it because it is a really cool technique that I did, and it is something that I do often in designing particularly like vintagey looking like photo designs, and doing it in a very careful way to where it doesn't look like over processed, which I think is a common issue with a lot of photo designs on tees, where it can just look too, like it looks over designed, if you will. So this was a shirt, this is a shirt I did for Burna Boy. And I've done quite a bit of stuff for him. I think he's really awesome. I enjoy his music. I think he's a really cool guy. And I really love this shirt in particular. The process that I use to do this is kind of something that I've done with a few of my designs in the past, where I essentially allow there to be maybe like 10 to 12 colors, but I'm kind of like slowly minimizing those colors down, condensing them into like groups. And so I'm knocking out shadows, and this was a really good photo where it was kind of like, I think it was just like a flash photo where the rest of it was really dark and he was the only thing that was lit up. And I love like the orange and blue tones in this, and I think it like photos like that work really well on dark t-shirts like this, because it can really like allow them to kind of come forward out of the image. There's a couple tutorials on YouTube that go over how to do something like this, and I had found those tutorials after I'd already like developed the technique that I used to do this, and there are better ways to do it. There are definitely new techniques that you can follow, but I just did this by minimizing the amount of colors and then slowly removing shadows and editing the picture to, I don't know, look how I want. This is screen printed, and it feels just like, even though it has plastisol ink on it, it doesn't feel like a really heavy photo, because you don't want like a big slab of plastic on the front of a shirt. You want it to be very light and wearable. So I really love this. This is on a really good quality blank. This is a Los Angeles Apparel blank. He cares a lot about having quality blanks, and it shows. This is a very heavyweight garment. The collar is really thick. Like that is the mark of a good garment. And it also has the Los Angeles Apparel tag. This is the 6.5 ounce custom dyed garment. Stunning. And then it has tour info on the back. And then this is my handwriting down here. And I have a couple other things that I did for Burna Boy, but this one is definitely like my favorite. And you know what? Since we're talking about Burna Boy, I forgot I had this other design. It's not even on my rack, but this is another design that I did that has this plastic bag on it. This is the photo that I used. I just took a picture of a plastic bag, and I wanted to make like a little grocery bag. And this was also available on his tour last year. And I love how large the print is. I love like how soft this shirt is. I don't remember, this is alternative apparel. So this one's thinner than the other one, but it still has these little distressed marks around the collars and the edges of the tee, but it's so soft, and I've worn it a bunch of times. It's so lovely. And I love like this bright orange print on here. This doesn't feel like plastisol. This feels like a water-based ink. Water-based ink's really soft. So I have a feeling this might be water-based because I can barely feel it. But I really like this one. Yeah, I think it's really pretty. Okay. George, girl, what are you doing? Get down. Thank you. All right. So the next one is a shirt I did for Miss Ariana Grande for Eternal Sunshine. And this is this stunning shirt. I did an Instagram reel talking a little bit about my Ariana Grande designs, but I love how this one came out. It is so soft, and I feel like this is a very wearable design. I think that's my favorite thing about it. It's just a couple of these like kind of like filmy photos, and we wanted to kind of like lay it out like film strips a little bit, and kind of like if you're looking at like a shot list from a photo shoot, that was kind of the vibe I was going for. And then there's these two on the back, and I just like added a ton of filters to these and really kind of like distressed them to the point where it looks like they were a really like low res scan. And then I added like a couple, let's see, yeah, there's one there. There's like a little tape texture right here. And then I have Eternal Sunshine up here also in my handwriting and some little sketches that I added. But I really like this one. I think it's very wearable, very like, I don't know, it's very soft and feminine. I have another one here from Ariana Grande. This is a collage that I did by hand. And I lost the collage. I genuinely have no idea where it is. I'm looking for it in my office, but I don't know where it is, and I'm really sad because I love this collage. This was something I did entirely by hand, and I love that you can actually see in this design how it was like actually made. Like you can see that it was made out of paper because you can see the actual bevel and the thickness of the paper. And another thing where it feels very handmade, very hand done, but also like my goal is handmade, not homemade, if that makes sense. I want something to look like it had a lot of craftsmanship, but also like at a very high professional level. So I feel like when you're doing very tactile designs where you're doing like physical collages or whatever, you really want to try to push that elevated feel. Otherwise it can start to kind of feel amateur instead of just like really polished but hand done, if that makes sense. But I really love this one. I kind of wish I did something on the back because I generally like to do front and back designs whenever possible, but I just love how this collage came out so much, and I think it really just matches the vibe of this album really well, about kind of like coming to an identity, going through a big life change, and kind of like piecing everything back together. That was kind of the intention with this design. So the next client I want to go over is Gracie Abrams. I've done quite a bit of work for her, and it's a huge honor because I think her style is really fun but very sophisticated, and I like that she's into like a little bit more, not like playful, but definitely a very different vibe from Ariana Grande. Hers is like very high sophisticated versus Gracie's is more like refined sophisticated, if that makes sense. So I've done a couple of things leading up to her album release for The Secret of Us. I don't want to get them down. I have bumper stickers. So these are the bumper stickers that I did for Gracie Abrams. It also ended up becoming a billboard. It's so cool to see that like my art was able to be transformed in that manner and actually end up on a billboard, because it's cool when my stuff ends up on a billboard, and it doesn't happen very often, so it's very special to me when it does. So I did that, and I did a couple other like pre-release designs that were like a little more simple, but I think where we really started to have fun was with her tour merch. So her solo tour just wrapped, and now she's on with Taylor for the rest of the Eras tour. I think she's one of the main openers, if not the remaining opener for the rest of the tour. But anyway, so I did a couple things for her, and I want to start with this tote bag right here. I love this so much. I use this tote bag all the time. I literally just took it out of the dryer because I use it all the time. And it says, "Just let me be close to you." I love like the variety of typefaces here. I think that's so fun. And I love like the amount of stars. It's wacky, weird. And then on the back, it says Gracie Abrams Tour 2024 in this little like star line pattern that I made. Next up, we have the main tour t-shirt for Gracie, and the front type here was done by my dear friend Louisa, and they did this like very cute hand-done, hand-drawn type that is on the front of a couple different items, and then I did the back here. And I love just like how fun this is. I love how giant they made this back print. People usually try to stick to their 11 by 14 smaller back print, but I love how big this one is. There's this cute little picture of her up here. We have this pretty little rainbow, and then I wanted a gigantic heart to hold all of the dates. If I do a really big print like this, that's gonna have like a lot of like plastisol ink, I generally try to only put it on the backs of shirts, and I generally try to avoid it in general, but sometimes I'll actually do it because I know sometimes it can be a little uncomfortable. So if I do it, I will do it on the back of a shirt. And so I think this is just, it's so fun, and it was so cute to be at the show in Portland that was opening night that I went to, and it was so sweet to see like girls of all ages, but it was a very like girlhood feeling show, and I feel like a lot of that energy is like brought over from the Eras tour, and it was just so sweet and endearing to see like teenage girls, like preteen girls, young girls who were just like there with their friends or there with like their mom or their sister, and they were just having like, I could see like core memory developing, and there were like a couple young girls who were maybe like 5 or 6 who were running around in these shirts, and it was, oh my god, it like brought tears to my eyes to see that like they were having a core memory formed there, and the fact that like my art got to even play like a small role in that like makes everything that I do worth it, because that's all I want at the end of the day, is I want to be bridging that gap between artists and fans. That's like my life mission with doing merchandise. I want to be building that bridge to where they're able to have this like really symbiotic relationship with one another. And The merch is what lives on in people's lives after they go to a concert, after they, you know, listen to an album, after they do whatever. That merch goes home with them and it lives on in their life outside of the music. And that's a very special thing to have. That's a very special relationship to have with someone, to be able to wear a completely different version of their art. If they're a musical artist, that's an audio-based form, but like then it continues on in merchandise in a visual, physical form. And I think that's really special. So that's why I care so much about this, because it extends beyond the single experience of listening to music. It comes into their life in a physical, visual form. So seeing that at the Gracie show was just so sweet, and it makes me very happy, especially to see like young girls have that experience with like their friends. Like that was a huge thing for me when I was younger, and I think it's so important to have those kinds of outlets. So anyway, I really like this shirt. I wear this shirt all the time, even though I know I'm probably not Gracie's primary demo anymore because I am almost 30, but that's okay. We've got another Gracie shirt. Actually, this isn't a shirt. This is a crew neck sweatshirt. I'm really into heather gray garments right now with a blue print. I have another thing actually that I'm gonna show you that is heather gray with a blue print, but I love this design. I love designs that are very interactive with the actual garment. So the front of this says, "Felt Good About You," which is a Gracie Abrams song. And at the bottom it says, "Cross lines, past lives, clear visions," with a little GA down here with these cute little doodles. And so the front says, "Felt Good About You," and then the back says, "Till I Didn't," with a broken heart. And I love things like this. It's very literal, I know, but I think it's really fun. And at the bottom, I do this cute little ribbon that says Gracie Abrams, A Secret of Us. And I just love like the "Felt Good About You, Till I Didn't," as if felt good about you as if you're facing someone, and then as they're leaving, it's "Till I Didn't. Till I Didn't, and now I'm leaving." I love it. And it's this really pretty blue. Oh my God, I love heather gray right now, especially light heather gray. Mwah, mwah, love it. So this next Gracie item is a poster I did. It was the main tour poster, and this is what it looks like if I don't reflect my light in it. But it says, "Do you miss us?" And then it says Gracie Abrams Tour 2024. And I think I traced Adobe Caslon Pro to do this. I'm fairly certain I did, but it's this like kind of off-white cream background, and then the lettering and doodles and such are in red. And I think that's how I did this. I think I just did a very, very loose trace on my iPad over some text I just made like in Photoshop. So I really like this poster. This poster needs to find a place on my walls in here. I am unfortunately running out of wall space. Oh my God, the leafy blowers are here. Might have to stop for a bit. Hello, it is time for this video's featured artist in my new segment, Command F, where I am spotlighting up-and-coming designers, creatives, photographers who I think deserve some eyeballs from some of the incredible industry people that watch these videos, so I can help you guys find new talent, okay? This segment is exclusive to non-white and queer designers as a part of my deep, lifelong effort of making sure we are diversifying freelance and in-house designer rosters. This video's artist is Karina Ray. Karina uses she, they pronouns. Karina Ray is a multidisciplinary Filipino-American graphic designer and artist. She currently freelances and is primarily doing merch design for a major record label. Some of the artists they have worked for are Nessa Barrett, Creedence Clearwater, Curtis Mayfield, and Joni Mitchell. Most recently, she worked in-house as a designer on the art direction team at Nike. Karina is currently based out of Los Angeles, but proudly defends Ohio to anyone who will hear it. Their work explores relationship and politics of vulnerability and pleasure. As a sexual health advocate, they use design as a space to talk openly about sexuality. Their work strives to empower those who strive for intimate justice in their personal lives, where our ideals often take a backseat to what they love. Karina is looking to design mostly in the music industry for album art and merchandise, broadly in any work revolving around love and sexual health, book covers, logos, podcasts, etc. Their dream is to brand a strip club. Karina is someone that I have hired on multiple projects. They're an absolute gem, amazing person, and I think that their eye for design is very unique and very, very refreshing. and they're just an absolute pleasure to work with. I met them when they lived here in Portland when they worked at Nike, but now they work in LA at a label that we both do work for. So I absolutely adore them. I highly recommend hiring them for any merchandise project, any branding in general, especially if you want anything around sexual and queer health. I think they're absolutely awesome for that. So go follow Karina on Instagram. Here's their website. Go hire them. That's all. Thank you so much for supporting the artists that I am featuring in these segments. It is very important to me. I also have bangs now. Back to the rest of this video. All right. Now, this next client is one of my favorite clients by far to work with. My last video, my record packaging unboxing, was about them. Their name is Valley, and I did all of their merchandise this year for their album rollout and also for their tour merchandise. And I don't have the like e-commerce stuff, but I do have the tour merch, and that's what I'm gonna show you right now. So the first thing is this. This is one of my all-time favorite hoodies, if not my all-time favorite hoodie I've ever designed. This is a brown hoodie. It's one of the lighter weight fleece ones. It is divine. It is so soft and comfortable. I've literally worn it for like the past 4 days straight. So the front just has this Gorgina bright yellow print that says "Water the Flowers, Pray for a Garden," which is the name of their album. And then the back has this cutie watering can that says Valley, and it is watering the flowers. And I got a question on Instagram asking how I do this like blotchy drawing, and I did this on my iPad with a really thick blotchy brush, and then I take it into, there's cat hair all over this. I take it into Photoshop and I make an active selection of that drawing, and then I make a color fill layer with a mask, and then I just soften and smooth that mask a little bit to get rid of any like artifacts. And that way it can be scaled up like this without, you know, getting distortion issues. But this is a little bit of a puff ink. It's not a super high raised puff ink, but it's enough to where you really feel it and you can see it really well in the print, which I absolutely adore. It's a nice thick print, but it is not big enough to where sometimes puff inks can cause the fabric to curl a little bit and kind of like bevel up. So sometimes that is undesirable and it can make the fabric lay a little bit weird. But this is a soft enough puff print where that's not happening. And I just love this. I love this so much. Their entire crew was wearing one of these when I got to see them, and it is just divine. I love this hoodie. All right, it's time for another heather gray and blue design. So this guy, this is another light heather gray. This isn't American, or this isn't Los Angeles apparel, but it is American apparel. American apparel does still exist. It was just bought out by Gildan, and now their manufacturing has moved to, I think, Guatemala and Venezuela. I could find that out right now. Oh no, Nicaragua. So it's no longer made in the US, but is still the same. Like if you're used to the old American apparel blanks, they are still being made. And Los Angeles apparel is like American Apparel 2.0. It's still owned by the same CEO who started American Apparel, who's kind of like a really bad guy, but their garments are really high quality and they are made in the US, so we have to make some compromises sometimes on the ethics of our merchandise. There's no such thing as ethical merchandise. The most ethical merchandise is no merchandise, and I say that as a merchandise designer. So this shirt I love so much because this Diva blue watering can, okay, Gorgina, the print on this is beautiful. This is just a watering can that we have, and we use it to water our plants, and it's kind of like a cream, but I just took a picture of it and then I put the Valley logo on it, and I also made it blue. And then on the back, we have Water the Flowers, Pray for Our Garden up here, and then we have all of the track listing on the back with this big circle, because general like circular movements and ideas was a continuous theme throughout the album of kind of like the circle of life. And then we just have the Valley logo down here at the bottom. I love this shirt so much. It's so pretty. Oh my God, like, come on. The little watering can, let me hit my mic a bunch. The little watering can is so cute. We've got another Valley shirt. This is the main tour shirt for Valley. It is this Gorgina forest green, and has this really, like, oh my God, this blue, this like teal right here against green with the yellow. Oh my God, my best work. I used a piece of cyanotype that I used in the record packaging right here, along with some little Art Nouveau doodles, and has Tour 2024 with this little mosquito down here because they have a song called Mosquito. And then I have this tagline down here, which I love prints that extend down to the waist down here that are like separate from the main prints. I love one down here. I love it down here too. And down here it says nurturing life, cultivating hope, which is another tagline that they were using throughout the album. And it's also in the record packaging. And then on the back it says Valley, water the flowers, pray for a garden tour 2024 with some, like, I think this was just a picture of a dandelion pot that I had that I was using to make some cyanotype, but I didn't actually end up using the dandelion. Dandelion. It's literally, this is literally a daffodil. It's literally a daffodil. This daffodil that I bought, I think from Trader Joe's. Jesus Christ, Kelly. And I just took a picture of it. And it, I think, was like a negative that I was gonna use for some cyanotype. I can't remember. But, and then in the background, we have little bits and pieces of the album artwork back here. And then we have the dates for the tour. I really, really love this design. Like, I think it fits the vibe of the album perfectly. And I think it goes with the watering can and the hoodie, just flawlessly. Oh, and there's also a really cute tote bag. Maybe I should go get that. I'm gonna go get that. So in similar vibe to the Gracie Abrams thing, I love an interactive design to where it says one thing on one side and then on the other side it says something different. So same thing, I got a tote bag right here that says water the flowers, and then on the back it says pray for a garden, valley at the bottom. And it is this stunning, stunning blue. I can't remember what Pantone this is. This is the Pantone I used. I love this blue. It is so beautiful. It's so vibrant. Oy vey, love this. All right, what else do I have? Oh, a poster. And then the last thing that I will show you in the physical portion of, why did I move this stool? I have it in focus, is the tour poster. So this is an 18x24 digital print tour poster, and it is signed by the band, but I love this. It's weird. It's like, I don't know, I love like the giant yellow circle in the middle representing the sun, and then the artwork, but also like the band being knocked out. I thought that was a really unique touch, if I may say so myself. And then the tour dates down here at the bottom, and then we have Valley up here. But I really like this poster. This is one of my all-time favorite posters I've ever done. I don't do posters that often, but I really, really like this one just because it's so unique and weird, and I don't get to do a freaky deaky little poster all the time. They're usually more in line with what the artist wants, of a more refined style, if you will. But Valley lets me get a little freaky deaky with my work. All right, I have so much work that I wish I could show you guys, but unfortunately I am legally not allowed to. But I have a couple things that I get to have in my house, and they are some of my all-time favorite items. This year was a really good year for me with the work that I had the amazing privilege and honor to work on, and also like actually be able to have and share with the world, because so much of my, let me shake my mic a bunch. So much of my work is under NDA. So whenever I get to have something physical with me and I get to share with the public, like those things are so special to me because I don't get to do it very often. So that's why I wanted to sit down and film this video, because I want to be able to share these things and show you that, like, even though I do a lot of stuff that's private under NDA, I do get to do some stuff that gets to be public, and it's really cool. And I'm really proud of it. I got to do a lot of really cool and fun work this year. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. And if you liked anything you saw in this video, let me know which item was your favorite. I am always curious what people look for in merchandise. I have some good ideas on my own of what generally sells, but different demographics act completely different from one another. So I'm always curious to see, like, what makes you a fan buy something, whether it's on an e-commerce store, whether it's on tour. What do you buy? Do you go for the main tour t-shirt? Do you go for a poster? if you get more than one item, like what's your combo? My typical combo whenever I'm at a show, I unfortunately love to get a t-shirt. Sometimes if a sweatshirt is really good, I'll get like a hoodie or a crew neck because I'm trying to buy less t-shirts because I literally have so many. But I've been more into buying good sweatshirts lately. And I'll also get a poster. I literally have so many posters. I don't know what to do with them. Each poster frame that I have in my house has like 10 posters like just being stored in it. It's getting out of control. But I'm like, oh, I get to do this for a living. It's fine. I can hoard all these things. It's not a big deal. But anyway, so when you go to a show, a concert, whatever, I want to know, what do you guys buy? If you had like $100 to spend on merchandise, which is more than the majority of people have to spend on merchandise, but if you had $100 to go spend at your faves concert, what are you buying? Are you buying a t-shirt, an accessory, and a poster? Are you buying a hoodie and an accessory? Are you buying a poster and some accessories and then not spending any more money? What is your typical combo? How much money do you like to spend on merch? What's a comfortable amount of money? If it's like your favorite artist or if it's just like someone you like, I'm very curious because I want to make sure I am catering accurately to fans. And I feel like I'm pretty good at that, but I'm always open to learning more. And the science behind like consumer behavior is really interesting to me, especially from like an art and music perspective. So do let me know if you had a favorite that I showed here. Please let me know. I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you for checking out the Command F section of this video. Those are things that are important to me and ways that I want to continue moving forward with my channel. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everyone for showing up for my new videos and this new style that I'm going in. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and thank you for coming home. I'll see you on my next one. Bye.